Welcome back to the BA Podcast. Your boy C-Roc here, Las Colinas at the Ritz for the February edition of Board of Advisors. Back with the person you know because you've seen him here before, Rey Perez. What's happening, bro? Great to see you again. Oh, and the microphone's falling. Sorry, we got
literally mic drop.
Control.
That's how we do
under
it.
Control. Yeah, Rey. So you got some new things going on. Want to touch on that and hear about that? What you're excited about right now, and how you're serving people, man.
Yeah, I'd say that the number one thing I'm most excited about right now is my 11-month daughter.
Yeah. 11 months already.
11 months.
I remember how tiny she was before.
Yeah, she made it to her first BA, which was only a few months, and it's going to be an entire year. And it's just crazy how time flies. I know it's like everybody says, you know, time flies with your children, but until you have your own child and you experience it, you don't realize how fast what that really means.
Yeah. And my wife does this thing every birthday, especially the 18th birthday of my son. And she did like this collage, you know, the pictures and put music behind it. And I'm out there exercising one day and I just looked at my phone and I saw him and I listened to the music and I'm like, I start crying. I was like, what the heck's happening to me, man?
I can't tell you how many members I've shared this with, but I've cried more this year than I probably have in my entire life. And I literally did exactly what you just said. I created for her birthday that's coming up next month and I put the music and I just started watching it and I just started bawling. I watched it 3 times and I just cried the entire time. It was just, it's so beautiful.
Softens you up, man.
Yeah, man.
Especially a daughter.
Especially girl dad.
I got a daughter too. So.
Yeah.
So what's the second thing?
So second thing is I brought back my Fractional VCMO program, which is Virtual Chief Marketing Officer. And it's something I did 20 years ago. I actually had this program 20 years ago. And then I went into personal branding. And then I just started creating these branding packages and doing the video. And I got away from it. And here I am 20 years later, full circle. Because what I've realized is this, Mike. Even though my claim to fame is brand in 2 days, I'll literally build your brand in 48 hours, which is unheard of, right?
Yeah.
Especially at the quality of the branding and marketing videos that we do. But what happens is the client leaves with all this awesome stuff and literally has no idea what to do with it.
Right.
Has no direction.
Yeah.
Like they're just, all right, I have a nice race car and I have no idea how to drive it. So over the years, I've just been trying to figure out how to support them. And I realized that they don't need someone to just create a bunch of stuff. They need someone to consistently work with them throughout the year, discussing what's your goal, what's the challenges holding you back from your goal. Let's create a strategy and then let's implement it, get it done for you. And that's what our program does.
So when you were doing it before, why did you stop?
Well, because I went on a different direction of not wanting to work with companies and wanting to work with the founders.
Okay.
And when I say I've come full circle, there's so much that a human can do that a business can't, right? I can build a website, I can build a logo, I can build this company, but you can go on the podcast. You can go Facebook Live. You can go step on a stage. Yeah. So the reason I went down the personal branding path is because I personally experienced marketing my company until I realized what marketing Rey Perez, who represented his company. And then I said, I want to do this for others. So I just went down that path.
Gotcha.
But now it's come full circle. I build your brand, but as soon as I'm done building your brand, I got to do all your business strategy.
Right. And company part.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Mike Calhoun has been telling me for at least 3 years, dude, you need to be going back into business branding. You need to be doing business branding. And I was like, no, I like working with the people. I get so much more out of it. I don't care how much money. But now I realize that the people still have the business brand. So I need to do both. Yeah. And that's where I am full circle 20 years.
So you're hard-headed is what you're saying.
Basically.
It took you 3 years.
You got it.
Yeah. Mike knows a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. He's got some good ideas every once in a while.
And it's good to have somebody that's not in the business that can see from, like
a fresh perspective,
30,000 foot view.
And that's one of the things I love about BA, right? Is you get a board of advisors, right? You get colleagues and you get other people from different perspectives that open your eyes to things. And I'll never forget my first BA. I met John from Australia, and the other John Whitman. Okay, Whitman from Australia, and I sat next to him and we became buddies. And he looked at my personal branding. And back then I had this really GQ kind of like standing from the side, showing my freaking Rolex, super pimping, like I was selling a suit or watches, right? Dope ass photo. But he's like, dude, that's not you. that's not the guy I've been sitting next to talking, and like, that doesn't represent who you are.
I've been there.
Right. And I had heard that already from a couple different women, but until he sat there and told me that, it didn't hit home to me that I was trying to be this all put together, perfect, you know. And as time has gone on, and as I specialize in personal branding, I've just experienced personally, and I've realized with clients that the more vulnerable you are, the more authentic you are, the more open you are, the more people connect with you.
How much do you think that is the Miami culture? Because the Miami culture is like that.
1,000%.
Miami.
1,000%. Like, it was a huge influence.
It's so pretentious. It's like LA in a way too, but it's more high paced, pretentious, inauthentic.
Yeah, you're always trying to compete. You're always trying to who's got that. And that definitely seeped into which is good because I got to experience that side and I can have that story, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And how much more can you stand out in a place like that when you're not like everybody else doing that?
It's very difficult. You know? And so now it doesn't mean I still have my style. I still like my fancy cars. I'm not trying to show off. You know, I have an Aston Martin. I have a Mercedes. I have a BMW i8. But the difference is trying to be a perception instead of just being who you are.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And once you do that, it's just so less work.
Yeah.
It's less stress.
And you feel better about yourself and
you connect with more people on a different level.
Yeah.
And specifically in this VA event, I've just felt like, man, I've just come here to serve. And I always do, but like I just came, I was like, I'm going to play full out and I'm just here to give to people. And because of that, I've just literally had so many conversations. So many people want to work with me now. And I'm like, this is the flow state I like to be in.
Yeah, it works. And you know, when you're not the person in public that you are when nobody's looking, there's misalignment.
100%.
And there's conflict that happens subconsciously. I think we've all been there. But yeah, I mean, I've experienced it myself. And, you know, I'll also predict something else for you is that when your daughter starts to grow older, you won't care about those cars as much.
I already don't.
Okay. Yeah.
You predicted it.
I've had the Benz. I've had all that stuff. And I'm like, I go to the gym a mile down the street, the beach 2 miles down. I mean, I don't drive really anywhere else. Like I need a softball mobile to take my daughter to travel softball. And then I don't care about that stuff. Just give me a golf cart, like whatever, you know? And I think that has a lot to do with the kids.
I'm a huge Amazon shopper. Like I have like packages every single day. It's like Christmas at my house every day. Yeah. And since I've had my daughter, the amount of packages hasn't changed. Yeah. What's in the packages has. Because 90% of it now is for her. Yeah. Like I'm not even shopping on Amazon for me anymore. I'm just like, oh, she'd love that. Like I want to get that for her. And it's so crazy that, it's not about me anymore. It's so different.
Is it, so the Amazon stuff is you, not your wife?
It's me.
Okay. So, okay. I got a story real quick for this. So when I was in the mortgage business, when that stuff started to come out, the delivery started to come out, I would come home and there'd be a package there and I'd have a good day or a bad day, whatever happened that day. And I'd come home and see the package. And I'm like, oh my God, what is she doing? What I didn't understand was the necessities that we usually go out to the store for. She was just ordering to make it easier, but I thought she was just buying stuff, man. And I'm losing my mind. And then I started playing this game where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to I can't live my life pissed off at her and stressing over this. I'm going to play a game here. She can order stuff and I'm going to just outpace her. So I started playing this game where I was just going to produce more. She can't keep up with me. And it helped me. Wow. It helped me stay motivated. It helped me get
I love that.
Yeah. But I'm not the Amazon guy. Like I want maybe 10% of the packages is something I order.
I wasn't, but then what you just said, the convenience of things that you need that you literally could just pull up and have it in a day or two, that has got me hooked. Oh yeah, I need that. Yeah. Okay, it'll be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I want to give you an acknowledgement, Mike, because another thing that I've started doing, and I told you at the beginning of the year, I texted you and I called you. I said, all right, you put me in this group, bunch of people, never interacted. I'm like, man, this is just wasting my time. So many people popping all the time. And I said, all right, Mike, what do I do? And you're like, all right, just connect with people. So I said, all right, I'm just going to, at the beginning of the year, it's my New Year's resolution. I'm just going to reach out to some people and connect with them with no expectations and just build some relationships. And I've had some amazing calls. Yeah. And I've just come from a place of just giving and contribution, asking for nothing in return. And I've given some people some amazing, like transformational feedback and advice that they're like, oh my God, Ray, thank you so much. Yeah. And whether it leads to business or not, for me, honestly, I don't care. Just the fact that I was able to serve them like means so much to me. And I wouldn't have done that if you wouldn't have encouraged me to do those. So I just want to thank you for that.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I'm only speaking from experience. I'm doing it, right? And I get this all the time. Like for those that don't know, we have a WhatsApp group, That One Network, and it has 555 members in it. And it goes off all day. Now you could have, it's the way you look at things, right? Things don't change until the way you look at things change,
Correct.
right? So I get people all the time coming to me, man, it blows my phone up. I had to mute it. I had to exit the group. And I'm just like, okay, well, this is why you have some of the problems you have. This is why you're limited in where you're going. And so if you look at it differently and say, you know what? I don't, it blows up a lot, but I'm going to just approach this like giving, and I'm going to just connect with people. And the other thing a lot of people do is they try to put their offers in there and try to self-promote.
I don't like
right?
that.
But it doesn't work anyway.
No.
So they just feel like they got to do something because they're not willing to do what it takes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what it takes is one-on-one calls, connecting, networking. And I do 5 to 8 a day, bro.
Wow.
Like 5 to 8 a day, Monday through Friday. I did 6 or 7 today already.
Oh my God.
Right? And it's, but I've met some of the most amazing people. I've helped a lot of people, but business, I mean, I made millions of dollars from it. And that's not even the first thing that I'm trying to do. Like the priority is serve. So it works. So I'm glad you're taking up on it.
And everybody loves you because of that,
thanks.
because of your servant leadership. And because they say it, man, I love Mike. He's such a good, so I want to triple acknowledge you.
Thank you.
That I've gotten that feedback from people.
And I noticed this, you and I met at a mastermind, Cody's.
Yeah.
Back in the day, my wife and I came down and you were like that hustle bustle, flashy, this and that, and which what it takes in some cases, right? But I've noticed a transformation in you at probably it's been like 6 years, 7 years now.
Yeah.
So great job, man.
Appreciate it.
So, all right. So with this fractional CMO, what can people expect that they wouldn't normally expect?
Yeah, great question. So traditionally, a company anywhere between 500,000 a year to let's say 2.5 million can't afford to have a full-time CMO, $160,000 salary. And in addition to having a CMO who's coming up with strategy and direction, you still need a graphic designer, you need a video editor, you need a funnel builder, you need a copywriter. So what we've been able to do is be able to be that high-level chief marketing officer. And let me be clear, hiring a chief marketing officer or having a chief marketing officer who's also an entrepreneur, because that's a big difference. Because I'm an entrepreneur first before I'm a marketer, right? So I understand what entrepreneurs and business owners are going through. I can come up with the high-end strategy. I can put an action plan together, and then the client can choose, do they have a team to implement it, or do they have outsource, or do they want our team to do it? Because one of my biggest pet peeves was hiring coaches or consultants or advisors that give you a bunch of great ideas, but can't actually help you implement them. Yep. And I spent a lot of money, and I just never forget being furious at a consultant giving me this awesome idea. It's like, oh yeah, but how do I do that? Well, you can Google it and you'll be able to figure it out. And I was like, what the F? Yeah. What do you mean I'm going to Google the idea you do? Why can't you give me the strategy? I'm paying you 10 grand for this session. Yeah. And I was like pissed. I got livid about it. And I said, I will never do that. If I give you an idea, I better be able to deliver it for you, or I'm not going to give you that direction. Yeah. So that's what we created. We got a program where you tell me, hey, this is my goal. These are my challenges. We come up with a game plan. You're like, I like it. You approve. All right, our team's going to get it done for you. Yeah. And in a faster time than in a traditional sense, if you hired an outside agency, it would take a month or two. We do it in a week or two.
Yeah. And not to mention, if you do it yourself, so basically I like this idea because it's a package that plugs right into their company.
Correct.
Right. If you did it yourself, you got to hire. Hiring is not easy, right? It's a pain in the ass. And then you got to train. You got to get them in alignment with you. Then you got to hire a team outside of that chief marketing officer, because that chief marketing officer is not going to implement and do the work. And then you got to hire those people. Then you got to train those people. And it's just like by that time
you got to manage them all too. Or you got to hire somebody to manage. And it ends up being more money. So it's like a no-brainer. Take this department, it's already done, plug it into your company. Well, some people would argue, it's like, man, I just don't have the budget for that. But I would reframe.
For what? The CMO or the fractional CMO?
For us, we start around $3,500 a month.
No. Hold on a second. They don't have the money not to do it.
Because
here's the thing, man, first of all, if they go the other route, it's a lot more expensive, a lot more time consuming, and they might not even work out, right? The second thing is that they can have the zero package. You should have a zero package. It doesn't cost them anything. It's stay where you are package.
Stay where you are package.
Right? So it's not that like, and if they can't afford it, they really can't afford to be in business because they're just going to plateau, and then any plateau company falls.
You nailed it.
So
you literally took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. When people are like, the opportunity cost of you not doing it actually costs you more than what it would cost to invest in doing this. Because when you have good branding, when you have good marketing, when you have good exposure and assets, everything changes. Yep. And most people get plateaued and stuck, especially with today's, and because the way technology is expanding, and they're trying to operate like they did 10 years ago. And we can't do that anymore.
Yep.
You can't operate like we did 10 years ago.
And it's the difference between somebody calling you up and saying, what do you charge? And you having to sell them and explain everything to them versus, a good leader doesn't explain themselves. They don't have to explain themselves.
Yep.
Right. When you get set up with a good brand and you create this attraction model that you do, it's, hey, what can I do to get set up? Like, what do I need to do to get set up? Let's go.
Yep.
Right. So and it's a night and day difference.
And now, so, I've been known as the branding guy, right? So, because we build people's brands and all that, but now we're really getting into more branding, marketing, promotions, exposure, like authorship, magazine articles, like you do, podcasts. You're one of my, my partners that I refer people to, because okay, you got a brand, okay, you got marketing, but we need to get more eyeballs on it. We need to get more authority built up. Mm-hmm. So now it's like a whole variety of different things that we're bringing to the table, more than just branding and marketing, and making a big difference.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So ideally, if everything worked out perfectly with this, what does that look like for you?
Well, for me, I've really, because I can only serve a certain amount of people, because otherwise I'm going to take up all my time, which I'm not willing to do now, especially with a daughter. And I'm not like after all this money. I just want to have enough to cover all my bills, have my nice lifestyle, and just have the time freedom to spend with my daughter, which is what's most important to me right now. I've realized that I can be a lot more picky with who I work with.
Yeah.
Actually, from the
why do you want to be picky with who you work with?
Well, number one is, if you're going to spend time working with people, you want to enjoy the time you're spending.
Yeah.
And I also realized this. Because of the skill set that I have in branding, marketing, and building people's authority, I actually have a really important power that could be misused by people. Mm-hmm. So I have to be very careful who I'm elevating in the world, because I've watched people build their brands and use it to create Ponzi schemes and steal millions of dollars from people.
Yeah.
Multiple times, different people.
Yep.
So I'm like, shit, I got to be really careful. It's not about how much they pay me, it's who they are. Yeah. So faith-based, purpose-driven entrepreneurs who want to make income, but also want to make impact. Yeah. And I have 3 rules now, which I never had before. Yeah. These 3 rules came of this year. Number 1, you have to be purpose-driven. If you're just in business to make money and you're not trying to make impact, you can't work with me. Mm-hmm. Number 2, you have to be willing to speak. What we're doing right now is speaking, right? This skill set is the most powerful, and you know this, I'm preaching to the choir, is the most powerful skill set that will explode your business. One-to-many communication. And number 3, you have to be willing to give back. So I have my nonprofit. I always have been tithing. It's just something I believe in. And I believe everybody wants to, but they all don't do it. So I want it to be something. I don't care if it's 1%. Right? I do 10% of everything that I do, I give back, but I want them to be in that giving mindset, because I know that the universe will give back to you if you're giving out. So those are my 3 requirements now for people to work with me.
Yeah. And the other thing is that some people are just pains in the asses, and you got to have boundaries.
I don't want to actually say that on the podcast. So thank you for saying it.
Because here's the thing, people listening that are consumers or clients can learn how to be a better client, how to make their life easier. Because when they're difficult, they're making their own life difficult.
I fired 2 clients
themselves
last quarter for that exact situation. I said, you know what? This just isn't worth it to me.
Yeah. But also for themselves, it's not like, it causes obviously your business headaches and stress. And, I've had to somebody called me at like Sunday evening when I'm with the family and complaining about something that they're the ones that they were supposed to do something. We're waiting on them. Right. And on a Sunday, like what is the matter with you? Right. Like, I'm not putting up with that. So you set the boundaries. Boundaries create freedom. They don't create constraints. They create actually freedom. It's counterintuitive. And so for people listening that, when you're going to pay somebody to have services done for you or product, be a great consumer.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then makes your business easier. It's the same thing when you beat people up over price when you're going out and buy something.
Yes.
Then you experience it with people that are coming to your business. So one thing for me, I don't get taken advantage of, but if somebody offers something and I see value in it, I don't beat them up over price. I just pay it. And it's really made my life a lot easier.
It's a really good perspective, especially in the, my parents are Cuban, I'm Hispanic, right? Hablo español. That's the Latin culture, right?
Yeah.
To haggle everything, to negotiate everything, right? So it's kind of like been in my blood, but that's a really good perspective because what you put out into the universe, you're going to get right back to you.
Not to mention, when you beat somebody up over price, are they going to give you the best themselves? Right. And because they're going to end up resenting you and they're like, okay, we'll do it just to get a deal. But, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want somebody to be like, this guy's paying us. He's a VIP.
It's true.
Right?
It's really true.
I mean, why do people look at it like, what are you really saving?
And to be honest with you, the people who negotiate you are the worst, I don't want to say the worst. They're the most work that you'll ever end up having. The people who pay top dollar are the best clients, the easiest clients, are the ones you want to work with.
I'm going to push back on something you said earlier with you, because that's how we are. Make enough money just to have whatever. And I say this to myself sometimes. I'm like, all right, we're good the way we are. However, I started thinking to myself, it's kind of selfish for me to think that way. Because if I'm going to tithe 10%, I should do everything in my power to do what God put me here for and the potential that I have. So I started thinking to myself, like, I'm being selfish. Maybe I don't need the money. I don't want the money, but like, what could I do with that? And then how much better, like more people can we serve and get them away from the wrong people to work with and all that. So my mind has been, I've gone through phases like where I'm like, all right, we're good. I can golf when I want to. I can hang out with the family. But then I started thinking like, what if I could do it all? Because it is possible. It's just whatever you think. So I'll push back with you on that a little bit.
I like that.
And then the other thing is getting you out of the business eventually.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like this is how you can do it all, right? Like you can do the stuff, set up all the systems and then start replicating yourself. And then now you're out of the business. You have the free time, but the money machine's running and you're providing other people with opportunity to work. And then the 10% amount goes up. So,
well, I have a belief system that obviously the more you can make, the more you can give, right? So when we set our goals in the beginning of the year, we're not saying this is how much money we want to make. We say this is how much money we want to give.
Yeah.
And based on that number, we work backwards and say, okay, we need to make this much.
Yeah. But when you're doing that though, are you limiting yourself and saying, I only want to give this much?
Well, I love that. So thank you for bringing this up because something I've actually just shifted to since last quarter, since the last podcast we did, is instead of just charging what I charge for my clients, I'm now, because I'm limited and I want to work with the right people, I'm actually investing in people's businesses.
There you go.
So for example, I charge $15,000. Well, instead of charging $15,000, I'm only going to charge you $10,000. So $5,000 a month of my fee goes into your business as a service investment. So over the course of the year, I've made a $60,000 investment in your company. Now, financially, $60,000 could go in any direction, but when it comes to branding, marketing, and services like that, it's actually an even greater investment than just $60,000, right? And in exchange, I'm working out percentages of growth. So now that $60,000 I could have just charged could be $160,000, $260,000 at the end of the year based on the growth. And the thing that it shifts how I feel about the client, because I really care about my clients, but sometimes it's different. Like they're paying me, but now I'm a partner, right? Now I'm a percentage of their growth, and it changes the dynamics. And that's now the model, because that's the only way I'll be able to make more without having to do more. So I'm actually, that's the plan. So thank you for that.
But I want you, like, because we're friends here.
Of course.
People don't know our relationship, so I could talk to you like this. And this is for everybody to get it, like, take a lesson from this. But one thing about this is like, we got to stop. I'm talking to myself when I'm saying this, right? We got to stop saying like, I don't need to do whatever, because that's what we're going to experience.
If that's what we
say. I've been through this, man. And I'm just in a mode where I'm like, dude, I'm not putting up with that for myself anymore. So
thank you for that.
For those that want to go deeper with you and learn more about the Fractional CMO, where can they find you?
Connect with me at Rey Perez 360.com. When you get there, you'll see all my websites, my podcast interviews, the Fractional CMO, my services, but there's a contact button. If you're listening to this podcast, click on the contact button. At the top, it says send text. Text me your full name and your best email. Tell me that you heard me on the BA podcast with Mike here, and I'm going to send you my training on how to generate more leads, convert more sales, and get more referrals for your business as a gift.
Let's go. Thanks, Rey. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. That's this episode of the BA podcast. Your boy C-Roc with Rey Perez. Keep coming back. Until next time, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Board of Advisors YouTube channel, and or on your favorite podcast platform. And keep coming back.